Alrighty, ball. Just recap. We finally got the ground game going. How did it feel for you to break out? Got to finally get a touchdown, get back in the end zone today, rush for 80 yards. Just kind of recap your game overall today.
Yeah, it felt good. We've been kind of slow in the run game all year. Today, we just kind of wrapped it up, and just seeing in the whole running back room just have success was wonderful to see. So it's been pretty good. It was a pretty good game.
How'd you guys feel in the backfield too, knowing that Jake was going to be starting? Kind of take a little load off his back. Did you guys feel early on it was important for you guys to kind of establish that run, just to kind of let him settle in a little bit more?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be important with the quarterback situation. Tucker, he went out with the concussion, and so we had Jake come up, and him starting his first game. Running backs, we had to step up, and that's exactly what we did.
How much have you enjoyed watching this defense play? I mean, what more can you say about the guys on the other side of the ball? They've been making big plays all season. They, again, held another team down in check.
Yeah, we have a hell of a defense. Never down the defense. We always play well, and just the offense, we wrap it up, and you see what the outcome is. So I'm real confident in the defense. If the offense wrap it up and we both, just deliver on both sides of the ball, it's going to be a pretty good game, just like the outcome today.
Seemed like, a lot of these games, they've been kind of teetering the last few weeks. There's always been big plays. How nice was it to see us get that big stop, and then Fry breaks that big run to kind of break things open. How did it feel for you guys momentum-wise to get that big play?
It was wonderful, especially him being a running back. It's just like my brother in the room. It's just like seeing your little brother run down the field. Tony as well. Like I said, the running back room had a lot of success, and just seeing those guys have success that you be around every day is just a wonderful feeling.
Last thing for you too, Demetrius, I've been writing about it every week. You've been encroaching on that top 10. I know I'm sure personal things don't always matter to you, but what does it mean now to be in the top 10 in rushing touchdowns in the history of this program?
It's a wonderful thing, but I don't want to focus on just having personal stats. I want to focus on the team and just building from here.
All right, well, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, here with Bri Webb, and Bri, appreciate it. First of all, congratulations on the win and your performance today.
Appreciate it.
Just talk about, like we were saying with 8 Ball, just been waiting for that ground game to break open. How nice is it for you guys to come out there and get the ground game established this week?
I'd say this whole week we've been mentally prepared, just good week of practice and just showed on the field.
Take us through your big 80-yard run. We've been seeing you. So that burst, you see a little bit of a hole and you're gone. What did you see once you got through that gap and you were on for the races?
At first I was going to go to the outside, but then I was just slowing down. I stayed patient, I cut back in. And the safety just slipped and I just got over.
How big did that feel too? Because like we were saying, the defense just made a big stop. You guys are sitting there with a 1-score game. You break that open. It seemed like at that point you felt like this team was in a good spot.
Yeah, it took weight off the defense's shoulders because they got many stops and just converted right after the stop.
Kind of like what we were talking about with Demetrius. What did it feel like for you guys knowing Jake, getting a start this week, trying to take the load off of his back with you guys, establishing that ground attack?
It's just like everybody said, next man up. He was focused, we was focused this whole week, just mentally prepared. We just executed.
How nice was it too? We had a 3-game homestand, get this big win over Shorter, and get a conference on. How nice was it to come in here and end this homestand with a victory?
It felt good doing the counting again. It just felt good. So, yeah.
And last thing for you too, what more can you say about this defense? Like we said with 8 Ball, this defense is a big place for you guys throughout the last few weeks. What more can you say about your guys on the other side of the ball?
Defense, the truth. They get us the stops. We need to convert every play, every drive.
All right, Brian, appreciate it. All right, Coach Gillen, first of all, nice to have a post game after a victory. First of all, your initial thoughts after getting this win over Shorter?
Well, it is. It's nice to be able to sing our fight song in front of the band after a game at home. We get to go in and get that good feeling back in the locker room. There's nothing like being in the locker room after a win. It doesn't matter what's happened. Being in the locker room after a win is a very exciting time. And, so it's really good to, after a few weeks, get to have that feeling again. I thought our guys, I think special teams play a huge factor early in the game in the first half. And coming into halftime with a lead there, and then coming out, the challenge has been, hey, let's do something in the third quarter. That's kind of been a struggle for us this year, and so we really had an electric third quarter in a lot of ways, and we overcame some things, bad punt snaps and other stuff, so to do that and still, pile up points in the third quarter was really big.
So you kind of touched on it. It felt like it was teetering at that point. It's 13-7. We have one of those snaps. Defense comes up big and stops that play in the red zone. And right after that, boom, you get the big play by Webb. It felt like at that point, that was kind of a signature move to put this team over the edge.
Yep, that's right. And, and that's huge for a team that's, lost 2 in a row at home to have something bad happen in a quarter that we haven't played well in, and then be able to instantly flip it and turn it. It was a really big stop by the defense. I think they missed a field goal with that stop, and then, like you said, a big explosive play on offense. That's a huge turnaround, and really sparked the rest of the game.
I thought early on you mentioned it a little bit. The special teams was huge. You come out, you get that block punt. It translates to points with Dunkel, making those field goals. But then you also get Nelson's 88-yard return. I thought like those two early when things were kind of, the offense wasn't quite clicking yet. Those two plays really helped get 10 points for this offense to get things moving.
There's no doubt, and we always stress that. We stress finding a way to make an advantage play on special teams, and so the block punt gave us points. I think we still went 3 and out on that drive, but we were able to get points just because of where we got the ball, and then obviously the big kickoff return too. Like you said, those were huge plays in the course of the game, and just the defense just bowing their neck time after time. It's really exciting to see that group. From the D-line, linebackers, and secondary really growing together and playing 11-man football, and it's really fun to watch.
I thought it was nice to see. I know we talked about the last few weeks, the ground game had been kind of stuck in neutral. We were waiting for things to get clicking. How big was it today to get that going, especially with Jake starting, kind of take the load off of his back? You get, Webb with a big, he goes over 100 yards. Demetrius is right there, and then Antonio Brown had some big runs too.
It's huge. That's where we needed confidence with our football team, because that's been the part that's gotten stymied the last 2 weeks, and that's what we put a huge emphasis on with our offense. We got to be able to run the ball. We're not a grinded out offense, but we got to establish the run game, and we got really good backs. And when they read it right and they get to a crease and we give them a crease, you saw today what can happen. And so they're electric. We got to get it all on the same page, and there were several plays today that we all got on the same page for the first time in a while, and it looked and felt really good.
We said too, I think Jake, I really look back to one play for him, overall, his completion percentage, but you look at that play to Darius makes that catch across the middle, they ended up scoring some points. I felt like that was a good booster for him to kind of get some confidence on a play that went for, 20 plus yards and helped set up a score on that drive.
No doubt. He's a steady player. Jake's never going to get high or low. He has one throw there he really wants back, late in the game down on our end of the field. But no, I thought he managed the game well. First time starting a college game. He's played some snaps for us, but I thought he did a really good job doing that.
I think last thing too, the offensive line, like we said, we've had moving parts throughout, guys playing new positions. They did a really good job protecting him throughout the game. He didn't have a ton of pressure on him, and again, opening up for the running backs. What can you say about this O-line and how well they protected today?
Well, I thought it was a huge confidence boost that we needed. It's been kind of shuffling some deck chairs there. And the last couple of weeks with injuries and different things, family issues and stuff that have happened. So it was really good to get felt like a consistent 5. And we didn't play perfect by any means, and we got a lot of work to do still. But it got to show the growth that this team is on. And I felt like from the Tuskegee game, we practiced really, really well. Our guys really came to practice every day with the intensity that we asked them to. And you saw it in some areas against West Georgia, a really good West Georgia team, but it wasn't enough to get the main result. And so that's hard to come back and do it again. Naturally we want to let down at that point, but our guys refused to do that, and they came and had a great week of practice, and then it finally showed up on the field in all phases. So that's a big thing. So the challenge now is we got to do it again. We got to find the mistakes tomorrow and fix them, and then have a great week of practice going down about Austin.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Congratulations on the 37-14 victory.
Awesome. Thank you.